violence started in Ampara, which is in the eastern province. And it took the government days to respond to the outrageous story that a Muslim cafe owner had introduced so-called infertility pills or impotence pills into his food. Now, the top government doctors and health officials took a few days to come out and say the obvious thing, which is no such thing exists anywhere in the world. But it took several days. And law and order was not restored in that area for days. So that was a definite lapse on the part of the government. This violence, this Islamophobic violence, has to stop, because it could be the trigger and the catalyst for the rise of a very dangerous, a very virulent Islamist terrorism, which could plunge the country into another long cycle of tragic violence, as happened in the case of the Tamils from the 1970s and 80s onwards. Social media has been a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, there has been a lot of hate speech circulated through the social media. And that means that there has to be some regulation temporarily of social media, and that regulation has taken place now. If the fires in Kandy die down, and if there is no proliferation of the attacks on the Muslims and counterattacks by the Muslims, then we may say that the situation has been contained. But if not, if there is a reactivation or a proliferation of the violence, then I'm afraid we may be looking at the beginning of another long cycle of civil conflict. And that would be an enormous tragedy.